had a chance to have a break, and I hope that those who didn't get rest, that they get rest. Today is Teachable Tuesday. It's going to be really quick. But before I start though, so my nieces painted my nails. Aren't they so lovely? And I was like, okay, cool. This is a great start to like my nail journey. So that'll be like one of my strategies to reach having healthy, nice nails. The book that I want to talk about today, it's called through Urban Books Presents, and it's by Angel M. Hunter, and it's called Faking It. The story, and not to give too much of it away, kind of starts off where this young girl who becomes a woman goes on this journey of what she wants in life and what she hopes to have. And at first you think, okay, this is going to be a great comeback story where the person is going to, where she feels like she has to do everything to make everyone else happy. But what I've discovered in this story is that she's had pretty healthy boundaries the whole time, whether she realizes it or not. So I don't think she's really, like the book was saying, that she's really being a people pleaser. I think she's pretty much doing, or pretty much has done everything that she wants to do. Maybe it may have started out that way when she was younger, but it really just, I thought it was a journey that was going to go through, the relationship part of everything was going to be kind of secondary, but it ended up being the more primary thing that they talked about throughout her different relationships with these different people. And it didn't really map out her journey of how she was a writer. It focused more on the different relationships she was dealing with, or a random tragedy or a random shock of people that kind of pop up. But the flow of the story just wasn't what I thought it was going to be in the beginning. You're just kind of intrigued, like, oh my goodness, what is she going to do next? How is she going to become this amazing writer that she wants to be? And I just kind of find that the book didn't really capture that the way I had hoped that it would. And I would say it was an okay story. Being a writer and artist is never easy. So I get it, when someone works on a body of work, but it just had a little bit too much to deal with, a lot of semi-toxic relationships, and a lot to do with kind of how she was going through that journey of different people, as opposed to more of how she got to where she is. And it would have been nice to hear more of her other friends' journeys as well, especially the friend that she was living with while because she's, this woman from New Jersey who moves to LA, to follow this writing dream and this passion. And unfortunately, it just does not talk about that. It just talks more about the relationship. So the different relationships, from her ex to some guy she met to another guy she met that was his friend. And it's like, okay, how is this all coming together? And then it was like tragedy, and then they get together, and then, the end, basically. And it's like, it just kind of made you do like that. Like, what just happened? Like, I thought, like halfway through the story, I thought, okay, we're going to get past all the, she's going to find her focus and stuff. Another thing that I didn't like was she was always ready to fight somebody. Like, it's not life. I mean, life is serious, but it's not that serious where you have to, everybody that you can't stand, like another woman or something like that, is not worth a fight or wanting to fight them. It's not, I didn't understand like the attitude and stuff like that. So I would say the book was okay. And I'm glad that I, at least gave it a chance and took some time to read it, because, hopefully one day I will publish my own book and, see how that goes, take some constructive criticism on how it can be better. But that's one of the things that will lead us into, why am I always blowing stuff off the laptop because there's always something on there. But leading to Teachable Tuesday, and I'm going to try to do this before my phone dies because I'm a bad phone mom. So hopefully I won't lose this. But going into this, when you are trying to create a story, when you're trying to be creative, make sure that you come up with a storyline. How are you going to get from one point to the next point, and how does that all tie into the particular goal of the story, the particular point? Because stories are not just stories just to be telling them drama and all this stuff. Like, it's not that. Like, what is the point of this? You see it in the greatest TV shows, you see it in the greatest movies. What does it teach you? What does it make you learn? Does it make you think? Does it make you kind of wonder, if it was this way, could it be this way? So making sure that when you do write your story, it has a good plot line, it has a good storyline and a good plot, basically. Don't get caught up in one thing. Like I said, with this story, it just seemed like they focused more on the different kinds of relationships that they had rather than her journey of becoming a writer, I feel, or the different friendships she made, whether they were good friendships or fake friendships. And, I didn't really see how the title tied into her being a people pleaser, or because, like I said, she seemed like she kind of did what she wanted to do when she wanted to do it. And if anyone had a problem with it, oh well, So that was kind of odd. So don't get so caught up in one thing. And, what I would say to any writer or aspiring writer or aspiring creative, be receptive to learning different criticism and stuff like that. There's so many things that I look at when I look back at my YouTube videos that I want to improve and do well on. And it'll get there. It'll come with time. And, just a little bit of a change in life circumstances. But, be receptive also to different ways that people will receive that story. Keep in mind who is reading your story. And, don't focus too much on what people think, because then you'll never write it. But also just kind of be receptive to the constructive criticism that you can get to kind of get to that storyline and that plot line that you are seeking. Kind of hear what your audience is saying, and maybe it can help improve your storyline even better. Don't fall into certain stereotypes. I noticed that with certain books, especially in certain cultural communities, there tends to be the typical stereotype of things for any culture. And I think that it's very important to just be authentic when writing. You don't have to speak a certain way or look a certain way or have a certain attitude just because of a so-called stereotype. There are things that do happen culturally within a community, but also there are things that we're just everyday people. So it doesn't have to fall in the storyline of this person is this way because they just are, the whole neck rolling and the eye rolling and the I'm going to fight you and I'm going to have various different relationships because I can and I want to. It's like, you don't have to have all of that. You also don't have to be super, oh, well, I'm just so this and I'm just so that and I'm just so pristine. Like, just be authentic, just be you. And if that's you, find a way to tell it so that everybody would want to read in a way than just being like, I knew it was going to be like that because I knew you had an attitude from the first page. No, just kind of see. And there's a really great book. Hopefully I'll have a chance to share that does that. And it's not so stereotypical. So just being authentic, being more creative with it, not having the usual storyline that comes behind that. And of course, focusing on tone and the sound of a story. You may not think that people can. The cool thing about being a writer and being a creative is that you can feel the sound and you can feel the tone when reading. Like I said, I could feel a lot of attitude and I could feel a lot of just I'm going to do what I want, when I want, how I want, with whoever I want kind of thing throughout this book. And it became less about her journey of being a writer, which was her whole ultimate goal of going to LA. And it just kind of got lost to me. And so just making sure that the sound and the tone is, yes, this is how this particular thing is because this is how I grew up, or this is how I am, but this is how I've also grown. This is how I've taken some of those positive things from my upbringing to the strong yet beautifully human person that I am today. So making sure that it's not, you can sense romance, or you can sense attitude, or you can sense fear and mystery and all of this stuff in a story, just by reading the words. That's the beauty of books. It's way better than text messages, sometimes emails, because the author really can capture every sound and detail of what's happening and taking place within a particular chapter. And in the movie world or TV world, they would call it scenes. And throughout the script, when they have like descriptions and stuff, and books capture that. So that is Teachable Tuesday. That is like a slight review of the dessert of the day. If you want to check it out, by all means, check it out. I thought that the book was kind of okay. I wouldn't say that it was terrible, but I just kind of got lost kind of towards the end of the story. So that's my information. Have a wonderful day. I got a brand new hoodie. Look. It says black pink. It's upside down, but it says black pink. I like this color combination.